The two biggest things that could affect this market dramatically, quickly, is...
So the big question is, what are top agents doing to absolutely crush it in real estate, grow their teams and add more transactions year over year while so many struggle? To get the answers, we interview top real estate agents to learn their secrets to success. Listen, we believe every agent should make a minimum of $100,000 per year, and we're on a mission to make this happen. We've already helped over 100 agents achieve this with our coaching. So if you want to fast track your business growth, get to your first $100,000 in GCI or add another $100,000 in GCI using social strategies, then head over to go.eliteagentsecrets.com, or you can just click the link in the description below. Also, just make sure to follow us, hit that subscribe button, and if you get any value from this at all, please tell a friend and leave us a review. My name is Andrew Dunn.
And my name is Peter Michael. Welcome to Elite Agent Secrets.
Obviously, we're diving, we're in amongst 2022 now, and we're out closing deals, making money, and hopefully everyone listening to the show is, or even if you're just starting, you want to listen to more of the show. Now, let's talk about market. This is something you're like, I really want to talk about. I'm not sure if I'm going to get shit for it, but I want to talk about it. So we want to fucking talk about it. So let's talk about the 2022 market, what you see, what we think we see, because I think this is going to be far more of a more of a dialogue with regards, like we have some thoughts, let's say, on 2022, because like we're all in. Like, dude, we are so far in, like, with regards to this year, like we're like, this is going to be a huge year. So what are you anticipating? What do you think is going to happen in the market? And this is a bit of a different topic actually for the show.
I actually did I don't do a lot of long Facebook posts and stuff like that. And I typically don't do predictions or anything like that. But, I'm investing in real estate myself, and, I have a cursory knowledge of economics because I went to college and stuff like that. And, if you pay attention to what the media is talking about, because unfortunately, people, especially in this country, whatever the hot topic is with the media is top of mind with everyone. And it's almost like, I feel like in some cases, conditioning for what is next, right? And the media is kind of conditioning us for what's coming. And if you pay close attention, right now it's inflation. And what is in the Fed's toolbox to combat inflation? Interest rates. And what do they typically do when we're experiencing inflation basically in every sector right now, right? It's not just food, it's not just services, it's everything. And so interest rates are more than likely going to go up. I was just having a conversation with a mortgage lender last Wednesday, and she said, Steve, I just got a memo from Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, and on second home purchases with 10% down, right now today, if I quote anybody, I have to add 3.75 percentage points on top of the rate that's today about 3.5. So right now, if someone wants to buy a second home with 10% down, I'm quoting them at 7.25. Okay. Think about that, guys. That's a big one.
Wow, that is mental.
And they're already doing it with second homes, and it's going to happen. I personally think rates are going to be between 6 and 7% by the end of the year, based on what I'm hearing. And that was like it's already happening in some sectors, right? And the what is that going to do to the typical buyer's purchasing power? I mean, for every $100,000 they finance and every 1 point, that's an extra $1,000 in payment per year. So just do the math. If they're doing a $300,000 purchase, that's $750 a month if they raise the interest rates by 3 points, right? So if it goes from 3.5 to 6.5, it's extra $750 a month for $300,000 financed. Or you can look at it as $9,000 a year, right? That's gonna really affect people's purchasing power in this market very much. So I think as that happens, if this does play out the way I personally think it will, prices are going to start to level off, even with a low inventory. Prices are going to start to level off, maybe even dip in some areas. And I don't personally see an end in sight with the inventory shortage at the moment. You know, I know there's a lot of shadow inventory because like in Bernalillo County where I am, there's 2,200 plus minus people in some stage of default of their mortgage. But I was in the market the last time everything crashed. Back in that time, it took, I'd say, between 9 months and 3 years between when someone started to default on a house and when it was actually on the market for sale to buyers. I don't know what your guys' experience is, but that was my experience. 9 months to 3 years for 90% of them. And right now, the court system is going to be so backlogged because at least here we still have a moratorium on evictions and foreclosures. It's going to be so backlogged. It might be 1.5 years to 5 years before we see that inventory hit the market, right? If it even does hit the market. So it's going to be really interesting the way this plays out, being that there will more than likely still be an inventory shortage in place. But with rates going up, it's going to mess with people's purchasing power. And we'll see where that goes. So that's my 2 cents. Feel free to disagree with me, and I would love to hear what your thoughts are.
So ironically, that's one of the things that I'm worried about as well, because like in my market, the prices aren't slowing down and people are able to afford it, right? And at some point, the rates have to go up because these houses are not worth 3, 4, 5 times more than what they were two years ago. I'm sorry, they're just not. They're still the same house. They were still built in the 1980s. 3 years ago, they were still sold for 150, 175, not $450, $500,000. So what's happening is it's kind of mental, because at some point people still have to live places. Like, where do you go from here? Like some of the most affordable areas are not so affordable anymore.
No, so, I mean, sorry to cut you off, but a couple of years ago, you could buy houses here all day in decent neighborhoods for 150 to 200,000. Right now, those are our market tends to be, and New Mexico tends to be a little more steady Eddie. We don't have the crazy spikes like California, Arizona, places like that. And we don't have the crazy lows like they do. We kind of have like a 20% threshold, but now we're pushing 30% in the last 2 years. And affordability is a huge issue right now. We've gotten a couple of leads lately through Realtor.com, and people start yelling at my fiance when she calls them back, and they're telling them how realtors are ruining the prices for people, and people from here can't afford to live here anymore. And we just kind of chuckle at it because it's not us. We're not making the offers. It's buyers that want to get into a house. We're just helping to facilitate it. But but that's it's crazy. Affordability is a huge issue right now from what I understand, in the entire country, not just a few places.
Yeah,
well, I was looking at
the prices are starting to slow down a little bit, but the values are now starting to catch up to prices. So I would be interested to get your take on this, since we're talking market. Mm-hmm. What happens then if the values are now where the prices are, but the prices are staying high, and now instead of being 3.5, it goes to, let's say, 4 or 4.5, or let's say 6, like you're saying. Mm-hmm. What's going to happen then? Right? Other than you have a whole lot less of a buyer pool, then the inventory technically matches people in the market.
Absolutely. That's the $1 billion question, right? I have people ask me almost on a daily basis, sometimes more than once in a day, well, how much longer do you think this market's going to last? And I have no idea. It could end tomorrow. It could end, or slow down tomorrow, or it could slow down 3 years from now. I mean, I'm in the Southwest. The Southwest is trending. I mean, a lot of people are moving out of bigger cities and moving to the Southwest area of the country. It's just really interesting. And then I go on to tell them, if I had a crystal ball, I would have bought 10 houses between 150 and 200,000 3 years ago, and I'd make 100 to 150,000 on every single one, selling them right now. But unfortunately, I don't have that crystal ball. No one knows when this is going to end. There's just, the biggest variable, I think, or the two biggest things that could affect this market dramatically quickly is interest rates and the stock market crashing. Hopefully that doesn't happen. But obviously if that did happen, we have, companies start to tighten their belts. They're not spending as much money. People get laid off, or we have a spike in interest rates, between now and the end of the year. I think those would be the two biggest factors that would play into a market shift in real estate. And I don't see the supply letting up anywhere. And I don't know if it's like this where you guys are, but here you used to be, you could for cheaper than owning. Now rents are just insane and through the roof. Try renting a house. It's way worse in my market.
Yeah, that's exactly what we're seeing in ours as well.
Yeah. So that's just kind of my 2 cents. I could be wrong. I hope this market keeps up for a while. It's all good things come to an end at somewhere, right?
They absolutely do. Yeah. It'll be interesting to see how it plays out. Stephen, it's been a pleasure. So what I want to do is just give you the floor for like 2 minutes. If people want to get in touch, learn more about you, whether it's referrals to your area, whether you're doing some other stuff on the side, how can people reach out, whether it's phone, email, website, socials, like how can people learn a bit more about you?
So my company name, as you can see on my hat here, NM Home Deals is my company. And my email is nmhomedeals@gmail.com or Steve at NM Home Deals. Social media, you can go on to basically any platform. I have accounts under my name, Steve Radlinski, or NM Home Deals. And I just want to thank you guys. This has been an absolute pleasure. I hope I didn't ramble too much. And this is a great business for anyone looking to get in. I'd say, it is a leap of faith and it's not easy. One of the biggest things, again, I see with newer agents, maybe false expectations of what the job actually is. Like I was saying earlier, I was doing open houses every weekend. I did, I was working 60 to 80 hours a week my first 2 years, every single year. And I don't quite see that work ethic in a lot of newer people that want to make it in this business. You get in, this business is the greatest business in the world in the sense that you get out what you put in. If you're good at it, absolutely. There is no limit on the amount of money that you can make. It's just how you want work to get it.
Yeah, absolutely. Couldn't agree more. Yeah. Well, thank you for jumping on with us today, Stephen. It's been an absolute pleasure. Everyone, we hope you enjoyed listening to this episode and we will see you in the next one. Oh, and by the way, would you consider yourself a maverick? Are you an agent, team leader, broker owner who is constantly striving to push boundaries and smash goals? Well, we've already helped over 100 agents go over $100,000 per year in GCI. So if you're interested in learning more about our courses and coaching to help you scale your business, then head over to go.eliteagentsecrets.com.